Hello, this is Jason with Hometown Network Security Service. I am back out at a client's house that I recently installed cameras in. He had a little bit of a concern about the Wi-Fi coverage in the house. After taking a look, we've got two different routers putting off two different MAC addresses, two different IP addresses. Nothing was really meshed, so every time he would move throughout the house, he was having to change the Wi-Fi name and password depending on where he was in the house. So I recommended more of a mesh system. That way, when he walks throughout the house, we're going to install two devices, Ubiquiti Pros. The mesh system will hand off the signal rather than having to connect to each different Wi-Fi connections. It also allows you to pass off the signal as you're walking through the house. Very other good important thing about that is when you have multiple routers in the house, I like to call it a lot of network congestion. So what network congestion is basically if it's not like a mesh system and you have several routers in the house, there's a lot of network congestion in the air, which actually causes and makes it worse, and that's where you're seeing the decline speeds with your Wi-Fi. So it's very important to keep in mind if you're trying to get better Wi-Fi coverage in the house, you want to pick up a mesh system, and it's always best to wire in a system than do something wireless. So I've got a couple of devices I'm going to mount in the walls, the ceilings, the Ubiquiti Pros, which I really like. So I'm putting a switch up here in the attic. I've got internet already coming from the main modem to the attic. So the network switch, I'm going to plug that router directly into the switch, and then we're going to plug the access points into the switch as well, and then we'll configure it all. That will give him a solid connection throughout the house, and we'll get it all tested. So right now I've got two wires coming up, one for each side of the house that we're installing or mounting the Wi-Fi mesh Ubiquiti Pros in the ceiling. So I'm going to get these wired up, plugged in, and we'll go from there. And then after we're done, we'll go ahead and test the Wi-Fi signal and make sure everything's good throughout the house. And let's get started. So I've got everything wired up here. I'm going to go downstairs and mount the units, get the wiring all done. We'll test the lines to make sure I don't have any issues there. Then I will have to go into the Ubiquiti controller and configure the Wi-Fi. Make sure we've got everything configured correctly. We'll do some speed tests, and then Alright, so I'm all done wiring everything up here. Got both devices mounted downstairs. I'm going to show you what I've got here. Alright, if you can see, I've got the network switch up here. I've got a wire running in. I'm going to clean all this up too when I'm done, so these wires aren't looking all messy. But as you can look, I've got the main wire coming into the switch, which was originally hooked into the camera NVR. Now that's hooked into the switch. I've got my PoE ejectors hooked into each Wi-Fi Ubiquiti inside, mounted in the ceiling. Now, you could avoid having to do these injectors. I'll show you here. But these injectors, basically, one port is for the internet, one port's to power the unit. You could avoid all that by getting a PoE plus switch that will actually provide internet to the switch as well as power the devices. So it was my fault when I got the switch. It wasn't PoE plus, so the devices mounted in the ceiling need power, so I used the injectors for that. So anyway, we've got everything all wired up here. I just got to go downstairs and configure the Wi-Fi, get everything running, clean up the wiring up here, and get everything rolling. Many of you may have questions on equipment being up here in the attic with weather. I will tell you that I've been doing this for years without any issue with heat or cold, and this is tons of equipment that I've installed and put up here in attics, and haven't had any issues with heat or cold affecting any of it. The reason why I put all the equipment up in the attic is if I didn't, I'd be dropping each line down the wall, you know, into like a living room or a bedroom, which kind of makes it a little more messier. It looks a little more cleaner because you can't see this stuff when you're downstairs, of course, because it's all up in the attic. We'll clean all this up and then I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so we're all done here at this house installing the Wi-Fi mesh system. So I should have done a speed test prior to, but they had multiple routers in the house, like I was saying earlier, which caused the network congestion, which gives you poor Wi-Fi. Basically, the more stuff you got in the house, trying to boost your Wi-Fi, if it's not meshing together, it's gonna be pretty bad. I should have done a speed test prior to, but the multiple router connections that they had in the house with different names, different Wi-Fi passwords, connecting to either one, you were only getting, they're paying for 300 meg. They were getting probably 15, 20, 30 at the max on each unit. And of course, when you hardwire any device, you're going to get faster speed. So hardwiring directly under the modem, they're paying for 300, they're getting 300, of course. So I put in the mesh Ubiquiti, my favorite product to use. I put 2 of them in. I went throughout the house, as you could see. We did the speed test, and you saw the results. I'm getting well over 200. Up and almost down, which is incredible with on Wi-Fi, because like I said, it's, you know, you don't get those speeds unless you're directly connected to the modem. So getting pretty much what you're paying for on Wi-Fi is pretty incredible. So the devices that your internet provider provides to you to boost your Wi-Fi signal isn't always the best. I won't say that they're bad, but you know, the devices that I put in, especially the Ubiquiti products, you're going to get more of the speed that you're paying for on Wi-Fi, and the results showed, as you can see. So it's important when you're looking and you're having issues with your Wi-Fi coverage in the house, to hire, you know, whether it's me or another network guy, to get you in some professional equipment, and that way you're getting Wi-Fi speeds that you're, you know, pretty much paying your internet provider. So, and a lot of internet providers, I know, actually charge you extra a month for the extenders they put in. I know some of them charge 10-20 bucks a month, which is crazy. With the network gear I put in, like those ubiquities, there's no monthly charge. It's just a one-time cost. I install it and you're good to go. And of course you saw the results. I mean, you could see the significant increase in the Wi-Fi signal, and like I said, I wish I would have tested the Wi-Fi prior to, which we were only getting about 30 meg max, and I'm well over 200. So if you have any network jobs that you need, whether you're trying to figure out why your network connection or your Wi-Fi connection in the house isn't great, and you know, in the Arkansas area, please give me a call. Hometown Network and Security Services, 501-794-6700. I will more likely beat any of these competitor prices. If you get a network guy that comes out and quotes you on a job, just give me a call. I'll be glad to give you a quote. If I can beat it, wonderful. If not, I mean, I understand, but that's one of the main things I do. Not only networking, but you know, I'm a security alarm business, so we do intrusion as well as network security cameras. So that's mainly what I do. Started off on the network side first, and then got my license to do security. So that's mainly what I do. I just put security cameras in for this gentleman about a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how bad the Wi-Fi was. So we sure enough did a bunch of tests, and it ended up being the equipment the internet provider put in wasn't great. So we put in professional equipment. As the results show, he's pretty much Wi-Fi testing the speed that he's paying for, which is 300. So any network, any security jobs, just give me a call. 501-794-6700. This is Jason with Hometown Network and Security Service.